Peace. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, it's your boy Vic Slane Hope. I got another video for you. And there's another serious video. But before we get into the video, right, you could click the link in the description below to purchase my book. It's called Who Profits When Black Men Gangbang, which is a short story. It was mainly designed for like younger people and adolescents, but anybody can benefit from it. And it's just about like who actually benefits when we out here harming one another for street cred or for movements that don't really suit us. There's also a documentary down there, We Came to Heal, that you should check that out. Our communities have been through a lot, and we definitely are in dire need of some healing. So let me get to the video. Today's video is about how, well, the title is, we are not trapped by no government. We are trapped by our own ignorance, right? And a lot of people is gonna disagree. And I've been doing some of this unpacking work for some time, right? Our people, they always looking for an alibi, for a way out, for a pointing of the finger, for a blame of some sort on somebody else. And most of the time is on the government, right? Most of the time is, if only slavery didn't happen, if only Jim Crow, if only Uncle Sam, you're not trapped by no government. Hear me clearly before you get butthurt and go in the comment section and write a big dissertation as to how I'm wrong, right? I need you to hear me out. And we struggle to just listen a lot of times, right? You're not trapped by the government. You're trapped by your own ignorance, right? Because let me tell you something. Yeah. I don't talk about that meme. Knowledge, right, means to be aware. To actually have knowledge, it means to be aware, right? If you have knowledge without application, that is useless information. That is not knowledge, okay? It is useless information. I know I said if you have knowledge, right? But no, that is not knowledge. You just have information, right? But to know is to act upon something, right? And you can only really act upon something if you are aware of what's going on, of what's happening. And a lot of our people are not aware of what's going on, right? Which is why even the people that go to college, right, they're not moving in awareness because they also don't have knowledge. You can go to college and not have knowledge, not be aware of what's going on. Why? Because when you go to college, university is our training ground, right? You're being trained. When you get your I almost said master's. When you get your degree in a certain concentration, you are being trained, right? In a certain area. You receive a certain training for certain hours, and then bam, congratulations, you completed this. That doesn't make you aware, which is why a lot of people graduate college and they just go into the workforce, right? Workhorse, worker ant, and they don't really get involved in certain movements. They don't really produce the social change, right, that is required of us to actually shift things because they're not aware, right? In the United States of America, the average person here reads at the 6th grade level or maybe 7th grade. That is bad. Do you know you can go to college and still be illiterate, which they call them functioning illiterates or partially illiterate? They lack comprehension of certain things, right? Or ability to be able to analyze certain material. This is a big problem. Most of the time, we are being trained by a curriculum that we didn't design, that we didn't create, and we most of the times didn't even have an input or a say so in it. This is how serious this thing is, right? So we are not aware, right? The more words your brain knows, right, the more it can see, right? If you don't know what something is, then you don't really see that thing. I'll give you an example. Car, right? We know today that when we look at a car, now we know what it is. Why? Because you know the word, and you can go look up the word, and the word description would describe an operable mobile or blah blah blah, whatever the description is, right? But now after we read the description, we know what that is. We are aware of the function of this said thing. So we have become aware of it. But if we didn't know the name and we don't know what it was called, then we don't know that thing. You ever try to talk to somebody and try to explain to them, you try to mention a tool or something, but if you don't know the name of the tool, it's almost like you don't know what it is. You really don't. But anyway, I don't want to get too stuck on that because people get lost in the sauce. But the point that I was trying to make is you're trapped by your own ignorance, by your own lack of awareness. Malcolm X went to prison and he read the dictionary, which was a very smart move. And he became one of our best orators. We're probably never gonna see anybody like him, right? But that's just a testament, right? The more words you know, the more your brain could see. And the way that man could think, it was astronomical, right? So what am I trying to say? What is like the messaging? The messaging is this. There's so many of us who don't want to read about certain things. We don't want to learn about certain things. We don't want to engage. Some of us don't even read. I done met people that said to me, I done read enough books in college for a lifetime. And I said, wow, all you read in college was specifically for your training in this specific field. But then people that get trained in a specific field, they come out to the world and got so many uneducated, ignorant opinions about a whole bunch of different topics. And they're ignorant in those topics. Why? Because people think that the moment you get your education, aka training, in a certain field, that now it grants you the ability to just talk about any subject. So you sitting here a plumber and you think you could talk about the stars and politics and a whole bunch of other things. Now, I'm not saying a person can't acquire information, well, knowledge, because information is just, you got information about something going on over there, or you heard something, or whatever. Yeah, brothers, we are trapped by our own ignorance. Don't blame Uncle Sam. Don't say if only my mother would have sent me to that school, if only my dad was around. You are living right now. You are alive right now. And you're squandering your time following behind ignorant people, following behind the messaging that social media gives you. And oftentimes the last thing that we retain is the last information that was given to us. So before you fix your lips to say how much the country or the government have us, in the state that we are living in, ask yourself, have you done your due diligence to free your mind? Have you done your due diligence to make your brain more aware of what's actually happening out here? Because once you're aware, you can't undo what you just did. Like once you stretch your brain and you expose it to certain things, the brain cannot, reverse uno, not see that. No, it doesn't work like that, right? And once you become aware, you will be able to change your thought patterns, which will change your attitude, which will change your behavior, and which will change the way you act. Okay? We have to become more aware, and we have to acknowledge that it's not the government, man. Yes, the government has played a role and is still playing its role, but we also have a role to play ourselves. We also have some agency to play ourselves. And to a certain extent, it might not be some of our fault, because if you have never been made aware of certain things, then it's kind of hard, right? If the information has not been relayed to you, then sometimes it's hard to even get to that point of trying to become aware, right? But there is a lot of us who that information is in our face, and what we do is we prioritize other information over becoming aware. Sometimes it's so hard to be aware all the time, so people choose to distract themselves. But that's on you at that point. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Peace.